Hey guys, it's Yesteryear here, and I want to thank everyone for coming back to the channel. Been seeing a little bit of growth lately, especially my games collection video. So I thank you guys because honestly, this is just a hobby project, just something to do for fun. But when I see you guys commenting, it makes me want to make more videos. So here we are. Today, we're not going to be looking at this PSP. We're going to be looking at ta-da! This PSP Grip that I bought off of eBay. Now, this thing is special because it is the only PSP Grip that I could find online. I could not find another one. In one of my videos, there was a commenter who mentioned something about 3D printing. I don't have access to a 3D printer, although I think it's a really cool idea because I know there's lots of free things online that you can go and download and then make these grips, but I don't. So I bought this one from Hong Kong. It did take a while to get here, and the shipping was a little bit expensive. I think I paid maybe 40, maybe even 50 Canadian dollars for this thing, and I mean, it's literally just plastic. But hey, you know what? We're PSP collectors. we don't have a lot to go off of, so I'm okay with this. I'm okay. On the PSP, the thumbstick can really hurt your thumb after a little bit of play, right? So I was playing, I think it was Siphon Filter. I was playing Siphon Filter for a long time, and I was just getting thumb cramps like crazy. And I thought, oh, there must be a PSP grip online. Sure enough, well, there wasn't a lot, but this was the only one I could find. So we're going to be testing it out, and I'm going to show you if it's any good or not. And I will link the store page for this down below. All right, so let's pop this bad boy in. I found the best way to do it is to kind of just go straight in like that. Put it under these prongs here, and then just push down, and it clicks right in. It will not fall out. Awesome. It's in there quite good. Yeah, let's just take a little look around here. So we got all the ports are showing, which is fantastic. You wouldn't want to have a grip that didn't have some of these showing. You can turn it on. All the buttons are here. And there's even this little thing. You can pop open the plate. You can pop open the tray there and put games in. Still have the case on. That's an awesome feature. Really cool. This is what the grip looks like. You can see it's almost like a PS2 grip, and I'll show a PS2 controller here for comparison. And it has a little kickstand here, which I can't imagine you would really use much other than just for show. It's kind of cool. Like, it props up. I mean, it's quite, like, this is straight up. And that's it's quite propped up. I guess if you were going to watch UMDs on this thing, you could use that. I don't have any UMDs other than National Treasure 2. So let's see how this thing does. Oh yeah, and you can obviously take the SD card out as well. Yeah, let's pop a game on and see. So just holding it, it feels quite comfortable. Like, it feels like, when you're just using the normal PSP, your hand is like this, but when you're using the grip, your hand is more out like that, and it feels much more comfortable. Yeah. So here is a PS2 controller for comparison. Okay, the grip here is a little different. Maybe this is a little bit more like a Xbox 360 controller, the grip, although not as comfortable, I will say that. But yeah, this feels good too, obviously. They both feel good. I like that. The only thing I will say is that the L and R buttons, I wish there were more back here, or like maybe there'd be like some kind of thing that stuck out, so that if you pressed right here, like, it would still press the button. But I find I'm kind of pulling my fingers forward a bit rather than having them rest like that. So that's a little complaint there. But yeah, let's try some games. All right, so these are the 4 games we're going to be trying. We're going to be trying first with Medal of Honor Heroes 2. Then we'll try some Tekken, some Gran Turismo, and for last, we will try Monster Hunter Freedom Unite. I wish I had the case, but I don't. So let's get into it.
Okay, so here we are looking at Medal of Honor Heroes 2, and the reason I chose this game was because, well, it's a first-person shooter, and the D-pad is used to do different actions, so I wanted to feel how comfortable it was using the D-pad, crouching, reloading, switching weapons, and you can see here, I did use my thumb a bit, but I am a claw player, so occasionally I would try using claw to do different actions, and it felt pretty comfortable. Some games use a D-pad for the camera, but in this case, it feels pretty good using them for different actions, switching weapons, crouching, and yeah, the game felt pretty comfortable with the grip on, and with the L and R buttons as well. It didn't feel too bad. Holding my fingers forward a bit. You can also sort of put your fingers between the grip and the button, and you're still able to press it, and I found that was a little bit more comfortable. Okay, so now we're taking a look at Gran Turismo. For this game, you're mainly just using the analog stick, although you do have the option of the buttons as well. I think most people would prefer the analog stick. But yeah, there's not much to say about this game. I mean, the controls are very simple. I will say that it felt better in the hands, and it definitely feels like more of a console experience when you have that grip. It is nice to be able to play without crunching your hand up, having your palms kind of out more. So yeah, I think I really enjoyed this experience. I could definitely be playing this at home for hours with the grip on, and yeah, it was good. At this point, I tried to take the PSP out of the case. I just wanted to see how easy it would be, and unfortunately, it was a little bit of a struggle for me. I couldn't really figure out which side was the best to try to take out first, and I was getting, honestly, a little bit frustrated, as you can see there. And yeah, after a little bit of trial and error, I think I was able to figure it out. But as you can see, the snapping motion there didn't look too good, and the actual battery plate came off, so I definitely wanted to avoid doing that when taking it out. Luckily, it snaps back into place really easily. It's just a matter of getting it back out. But I found that the top was the best place to take it out first. If you just sort of pry your fingernails underneath, it comes off. So next, I decided to pop in Tekken Dark Resurrection, and unsurprisingly, the case feels really good on fighting games. Unfortunately, I just really suck at Tekken, so yeah, I had to go and get a different game that I was more familiar with. So of course we had to get Soul Calibur, Broken Destiny, something a little more my speed. So yeah, this game really felt incredible with the grip on, using the D-pad for different combinations, and apparently Juba decides to get naked. But yeah, great game, and the grip works really well with fighting games, and I definitely recommend it if you're a big fighting game fan. So here we're taking a look at Monster Hunter Freedom Unite, and this is one of my favorite games on the PSP. Um, if you're using this game with the L button, you're using the L button to move the camera around behind your character, it works fine. You know, you're able to press all the buttons and move around. But the difficulty comes in when you start to do the claw technique, because as you can see, you're really spreading your fingers apart. If you have your middle finger behind the PSP, behind the grip, it's really uncomfortable. The workaround is having your middle finger up on the top, but even that just does not feel comfortable at all. So yeah, I tried taking out the PSP here to show you the difference, and you can just watch my struggle. Finally, I did get it off, but again, with the battery case, it feels a lot more comfortable to use a claw technique without the case on. As you can see, the space between your fingers is pretty minimal compared to with the grip on. But yeah, for me personally, I always play this game with claw. I never really use the L button too much. Um, but yeah, if you're the kind of person that uses the L button for the camera, then I think you'll be fine with this game. Definitely the worst experience with this case was just trying to get it off. Like I mentioned before, taking it off from the top is the easiest. You kind of pry it over the silver bar there. Um, from the bottom, it's just not a good idea. As you can see here, I even kind of scraped the sticker a little bit, which definitely not something you want to do. So that's my biggest complaint about the case. And sometimes even the battery cover will come off, and it's a little bit frustrating.
Anyway, guys, that's some of my thoughts and opinions on this PSP Grip here. Um, it's a cool thing, and it's got solid grips around the hands, which I like. It's got the open ports, and you're able to change games with it still attached. I really like that feature because I would hate it if I had to keep taking this thing off. And I think overall it's good for games that utilize the D-pad a little bit more than the circular analog stick. It just, I don't know, it feels right. It feels right. Um, Unfortunately, it does not get rid of the thumb cramping. It does reduce it a little bit, but you won't see a huge difference about the thumb cramping. I still find I get a little bit uncomfortable when I'm playing some games. Unfortunately, it's not good for using claw either because of this big gap here. Um, yeah, that hurts actually. So not good for that. And unfortunately, you have to stretch your fingers out a little bit. You just kind of have to bring them forward a bit, which is not always comfortable. Although you can sort of rest them in between here. And I find if you just press, you'll still hit the buttons, which that's fine. And yeah, the last thing would be that it's difficult to take out, which you saw me um, get that sticker and the battery cover out a few times. And yeah, unfortunately, I wish they just had a little latch or something that you could pop down and bring it back up. That would be so much better. But the way that it is, a little bit difficult to take out. So I think this is going to be good for people who want to play D-pad based games and people who want to have something comfortable for their PSP. I know the PSP isn't always comfortable to hold, but if you want to have that at home, you want to have something that you can just pop it in and sit down and play a game for hours, I think this is going to be for you. If you're looking to get rid of the thumb cramp, I'm not so sure. So, yeah, just keep that in mind. Take a look at it, make your own decision. I'm really happy that you watched this far, and I really appreciate you guys sticking around and watching the video. Please hit that like button. Please hit that subscribe button. And in my next video, we're probably going to be taking a look at these clear UMD cases that I ordered from China and replacing some games that I have that have fallen out, which is bad. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.